I hear women say, but I feel guilty when I rest. I can't relax. I feel restless when I'm slowing down. And I feel like shit might happen. I lose control of my circumstances, my team, my business, right? So feeling guilty when slowing down is a red flag.
Hello, welcome back to the WonderVoice podcast, and together we are co-creating a new standard of wellness in digital age world. Today, I've got a very special guest, Tara, here with me, and I am Rachel Wingman. Tara is very interesting and very inspiring woman, which is I know, and I'm so blessings because Tara choosing us a Wonderlab Centers to launching her first book. Wow, what an amazing achievement, Tara. And Tara is an embodiment coach, and she is helping the high performers, the female performers, to reconnect their body and to lead magnetism and clarity.
Thank you so much, Rachel, for having me today. It's absolute joy and honor to share my insights. And I would love to touch on emotional wellness today.
Oh, emotional wellness. I believe that there are many of our audience, they want to learn a little bit more how to managing their emotional in a way to keep them center and alignment, right?
Yeah, right. To me, emotional wellness is a state where we are in balance between our emotions and our psychological state. Meaning that in everyday life, we are constantly in actions and we are in a hustle. And whatever we do is a result of an emotion. And whether we recognize it or not, our thoughts create our emotions and our emotions driven our actions. So most of the time we see that we are targeting people's actions without actually touching on the emotional state. Most of us haven't learned how to express our emotions in a healthy way.
Yeah, it's important to express the emotion as well. For example, wife and husband at home, right? Like this is definitely a love and hate relationship.
Sure.
And my husband always been talking about, yeah, you're really go-getter, you love your work and you're so passionate and very good business owners. However, you don't really know much about numbers. And I say, of course, I know my numbers. And yeah, if you know your numbers, then why when you tell me you will be 5 minutes, then you can get out of the house, but there is still another 5 minutes, another 5 minutes, you'll never be able to get out of the house.
Right.
Is it something like this kind of the communication in between a couple as well?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So when I say emotional awareness and emotional state, it plays out in almost all areas of life, whether in our relationship with our partners and loved ones, in our relationship with our team, in our businesses, in our relationship with everybody around us, including ourselves. So instead of blaming others for what we haven't get, which is our response to our emotional needs, we can easily state that what I need from you is more presence.
So what will be your recommendation then if next time my husband asks me like how long I need to wait for you to get out of the house?
Well, depends really on the circumstance, because there is only a microsecond or milliseconds between pausing and really there's a void, milliseconds between really pausing, breathing and thinking and balancing what you really want to say and respond to the situation versus immediately responding, because our immediate response is coming from our ego. We feel threatened, and as a result, and we are often scared of 1 millisecond gap. We want to fill the gap with some kind of an action or words that is often not the truth of what we want to communicate, and that is why it leads to agitation or conflict.
And definitely I want to be deep dive more about Tara's first book, Rebel Man. And I know Rebel Man is like a carrying over 30 a beautiful women's stories around the world to share their healing journey, right?
So my chapter is called From Silence to Sovereignty. And so in my chapter, I share my journey of growing up as a woman in Iran. And despite the lovely, lovely family, highly educated, supportive of me, despite all of these things, I had my own imprints and takes on life. So it was not so much at the mindset level, it was deeper into healing my own trauma and really deeper connection with my wounds. So this is what the message that I want to share with the world and with other women, that don't get trapped so much into the victimhood of, oh, this happened to me, or I'm not this. Yeah, there are so many stories that you can get caught in, but moving through those stories, embracing yourself, all the layers, deeper level of yourself, having the courage to meet them and transmute and alchemize actually those into freedom and liberation is the power we all hold within. So then don't get caught up with the stories, embrace them with love, accept them with love, and move through them with love.
I know you've been guiding many high performance female leaders, and what sort of the sign and signal you can see they actually comes to burnout, they don't connecting to their self.
So true.
Yeah. Hello, wonder who you are becoming. What is your next journey? Stay curious and stay open. Subscribe WonderVoice. You will get more stories, real story, more insights, and different journey coming next. How do you been helping them to come out of it?
I'm so happy you asked this question, because it was actually a theme coming up recently in almost all my mentoring sessions. I hear women say, but I feel guilty when I rest. I can't relax. I feel restless when I'm slowing down, and I feel like shit might happen. I lose control of my circumstances, my team, my business. So feeling guilty when slowing down is a red flag. And I often tell them that the reason most of high achieving, driven entrepreneurs and female leaders and founders feel they have to push through and overperform is because of the old conditioning that chaos feels safety in your body. So you create a chaotic environment so that you feel safe in your body and you have actually something to attend to. And when I guide them to really go deeper within and feel a sense of how is it feel like to be safe in your body without having to hustle, that is when they feel absolute presence in their body.
It's always be the keyword presence.
Yeah.
And I think most of the women, they feel guilty because they are, if they're resting, because they feel that will be less productivity, which is something that stop them to achieving something, which is the society define that is the kind of success, right?
Yes.
However, like end of the day, then this is another leading to another emotion, which is the fear emotion.
Correct.
Because goes back to your answer about the environment is you as a leader believing in yourself, you will be able to create the environment to make you, the body and your mental to feel safe in that space, so you can be attention on the important moment, person or task.
Underneath all this feeling unsafe in body is a fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of not getting it right, and fear of losing actually control. And another thing that is also very common is fear of expressing emotions, fear of being vulnerable.
Yeah. Ultimately, the emotion wellness here is your fear.
Yeah.
How are we going to be overcome the fear is you need to be really understand who you really are.
Yeah.
And what you want to be connected.
100%.
Okay.
And
So
taking actions, because fear is inseparable part of our humanness, right?
yes.
So it's not going to go away. But when we take action in line with our truest sense of self, that is when liberation comes in.
Okay. So I love it. This is, as I say, that's so powerful. And then now I want to take this moment and invite Tara with me together. We just take a deep breath. Lovely. How do you feel?
I feel really, really in my element.
I had a conversation with my another female leader. The first thing you really want to get out of the bed is because you know who you are. And then you've got fully the motivations to want to be achieving, to conquer the world, pretty much, right?
Yeah, right.
Yes.
So I will, if I may, I will share 3 key questions that I always ask every single morning before I get off the bed is, who do I want to be?
Yes.
What do I don't need to carry with me anymore? And the third one is, what do I need to do in order to feel the certain way, the feeling that I want to feel? So make a whole lot of, to-be list instead of to-do list.
Yes, interesting. So I'm going to be having my to-be list now. Before we wrap up, I want to ask you the last 2 questions.
Sure.
The first question is what advice would you want to give the women who have a story to tell,
Right.
but afraid to share it?
Yeah. This is really important. Think about if you have a story to share. Number one, the whole process of sharing authorship or even speaking in front of, on the biggest stages in front of people, it is healing. So you are not only doing yourself a big service, you are serving the audience. Number 2, think about your bigger purpose in life. What is your legacy? Do you want to bury your stories in your heart? Or do you want, despite all the fears, leave a living legacy so that you keep inspiring women generation after generation?
I love that is the generation after the generation. It's more about to share the story. It's nothing to do. You want to earn whatever title it is, right? But instead of is what the message you want to be delivered to your next generation.
It is through the power of our stories that we connect. And we live in the world that is all chaos around us, all feeling disconnected. So the most powerful thing we can do is connect through the power of storytelling. That is a true human-to-human connection, which is precious and invaluable at this particular time.
So now comes to my last question is, if I ask you to share one message to our audience, what will be the message?
So your voice is your power and your wound is your wisdom. Have the courage, willingness, openness to transmute your wound into your wisdom, because your wisdom, your inner wisdom is your true power and you are born with it.
Thank you, Tara, for the beautiful ending and wrapping up this message. This is the Rebel. If our audience, they wants to be buying this book, where they can find it?
The book came out in July, became the 5 times best-selling book in different categories on Amazon. So it's available on Amazon. And I would love to add something that is not openly spoken about is all the proceedings from the book is going to help mothers and children in Gaza at this very difficult time.
Also, for people who wants to be connect with Tara, what's your is it Instagram or the LinkedIn?
Well, I have more social presence on Instagram. My handle is Tara_Sadeghian, Sadeghian. But if you get a copy of the book, it's on chapter 30. It's in my book. And yes, I have social presence in everywhere, in Facebook, Instagram. I have the website and also LinkedIn. Thank you.
No worries at all. And then thank you, Tara, for sharing. And I believe that you all couldn't wait to get this book and get inspired from those amazing women's story. Thank you.